I am going to read to you a letter that I got in my email from a fan, let's just say. It's a female that, for some reason, believes that I am being a male chauvinist by telling the story that I've been telling on my internet, my Instagram. And it's just an interesting letter that I printed out and let you guys know. It starts out, you big, get in no coochie, bored, old man. We have come to a point where me and my friends believe that it is essential that you know our feelings, that as modern women, we feel that your artwork, though it may be interesting in its execution and appealing in its academic rigor, is primitive in a sense that every frame has to have either boobs, vajayjays, or bootioles. Bootioles. What is that? What's a bootiole? Bootio? Bootio? Anyway, she goes on. I am turning 30 years old in 2 weeks, and I feel like every time I turn on the internet, I am bombarded by images that are taking me back to a time when women were just looked at as sexual objects. I've only continued to read or watch your videos because they make me laugh, not at the content, uh, but at your stupidity and waste of talent. I doubt if this letter is going to cause you to stop what you're doing. Just know that there are those women out there who do not appreciate punk, and it's spelled out Azzeezy, like yourself, representing them as sex objects and stupid Martian witches. So I figure that if you took the time to write this letter, and it goes on to point out which frames they most dislike and other things that are, well, let's just say they're interesting. Description of my eyebrows. I like my eyebrows. So, if you have anything that you would like to tell me about my artwork, as a modern woman, my email is Wallfolks, WALLFOLKS 9 at gmail.com. And I will read those emails, and uh, I'll respond to the ones that I find that are most interesting. But as of this point, this is my first um, episode of my podcast, and I just basically grain of salt, and I respect her opinion, but she's correct. I'm not going to stop doing my artwork, and this podcast is actually to show how you can get around restrictions when you are doing pure art and you know that that is just human culture. um, I want to just sort of make the transition from Instagram. I'm not leaving it completely, but make the transition from Instagram to Facebook, and sort of try my hand at podcast. Now I have plenty of material, and it's just gonna go in the direction of basically displaying my um, illustration, um, trying to get as many frames in one setting as I can, and playing a little game of hide and seek, basically. Boobs, as she says, uh, are interesting, and I think they shouldn't be restricted in artwork that's displayed on platforms. Uh, and I think we're all adult enough to handle looking at boobs and booties uh, and vajayjays, actually. I think we can handle it. And that's where I am. I'm going to do that old Jim Morrison thing, which is to test the bounds of reality. And hopefully I can get a little further with the story that I think is actually pretty nice and is coming out pretty nice. So let's see how this works out. I'm shocked actually. I appreciate what is being said, but I'm shocked that in this day and age, someone who's considering themselves to be mature, turning 30 years old, and is used to the media out there, movies out there that would be responding that emotionally. I guess I don't know. That could be like comedy. I don't know, but over something like breast. So at this point, where we are here, we're at August 19th, 2026, 9:19 p.m. My first podcast, and I'm gonna try and pull on my creativity to try and keep. So, our first basically get to know each other. Platform of is going to be, or the structure of the podcast is going to be kind of loose. You know that it's going to be obviously about illustration and just like I said, pushing the bounds of reality. We don't want to see what is the issue with women who believe that you're being insulted because men want to see your boobs. You know, it's this is a petty podcast. Okay, so don't expect to come on here and talk about things dealing with NASA and their attempt to settle Mars or whatever they're trying to do. We're not on that tip. It's just about you know how interesting can you make the man's lifelong quest to find the perfect tits or boobs and basically see where we can get with the kind of finding a common ground with these women because I know that actually there's a lot of females out there that are happy with the artwork that I'm doing, with the story that I'm doing. I have a lot of female fans that are always checking in, and they know it's all lighthearted, and they have no problem with it. In fact, um, you know, uh, I have a lot of suggestions coming from the females that are a little bit more raunchy than what I'm doing. So you have my email. Let's see what you have to say. And let her fly, man. Let her fly. I think I can handle it. Just lay off the eyebrows. I'm born this way. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're that outrageous, actually. And how hairy are you? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just looking at your email statement, and I wondered how hairy you are. At least I'm proud of my hair. Maybe you should send me some pictures of your hair. And I'll leave that there, get this area cleaned up, and I will, begin with about a stream of frames from the story so that we get some continuities, you know, from the beginning and get through a nice bit of the story in one setting so that we can see the flow. I haven't done that since I started this um, story, and that's been quite a while. I've been working on this story for about, let's say, 3 years. 3 years. And it's been a hell of a good time, and I think it's starting to really get exciting. And the more I hear statements like that, who knows what I'll do, But remember, we are on YouTube now, so we have to be a little bit more clever about demonstrating our fondness for the female form. And it's all comedy, it's all, you know, angles. We experiment with angles, trying to see things from different points of view. And we like to have kind of the shock of unexpected illustrated violence. And it's all art. So it's not nothing to fear or be upset about. But if you got something to say, let me hear it. And none of this is practice, of course, or rehearsed. So you have to expect that I'm just coming out here, I'm winging it. But I do have a kind of direction. There's a core to it, which is the displaying of my art and my story, and um, basically, letting me touch base with a lot of people that uh, I knew way back in the day, and with new people who are interested in art and comedy. Anybody that knows me knows that the worst thing you could do if you want me to ease up on what do you call lewd images in my artwork is to start to complain about it. That's one of the biggest motivators for my type of art is somebody complaining about boobs and booties. So let's see where this goes. I'm all for it. I have that determination, and I am anxious to see how I can lay out these frames in a clear way where it looks like controlled and not so sloppy. Um, and it's kind of fun thing is that I don't feel like I'm rushed doing these videos. I had to get a feel of the format. I think everything that I said hopefully is clear right now. Maybe get order a little mic to give myself a little bit more clarity in my voice because I have a very monotone voice and it's a little rough. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set up a nice little kit here so that we can get clear responses. I'm gonna focus on that camera up there so that I'm looking right at you when I'm talking to you. I'm not wearing my glasses right now because I'm trying to start off by you sort of seeing who I am, and then I can go into the typical shades as because I'm getting off work, so most of the time I'm not looking the freshest I can look. So that's just my way of not distracting you with my tired appearance. Shout out to all the people from Chicago and Aurora, Illinois, and the people I know in Las Vegas here, and in China, and the Philippines. Shout out to everybody that has been following the story so long, up to this point. And here we go, man. No more day one, right? So I will see you tomorrow, and we will check out these frames. And like I said, you know, feel free to email me. And let's hear it. Let's hear it. I got a lot of features here. You can, look at these ears. You can talk about my ears, my teeth. We can go on for a while just hearing your insults, and like I said, you talk about my hat, whatever you like. It's just gonna be fun. So I'm out. Have a good night.